welcome, everybody, to this episode of Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts in the triple threat dynamic trio, Keith Armstrong, along with
Uncle Spoke.
It's your boy Fluke Dog.
we
That
here
old
today, here every Friday, speaking on it, talking about it, promoting conversation, and really and truly working on our own communication and serving as examples to you on how to sit around and communicate with the people that mean the most to you. So what we're going to do, we do you guys a favor. We include you into our lives with our discussions. We pretty much cover everything, but the one thing that we kind of focus on for the last 2 years is our perspective on life as it is, right? Somebody told me, yeah, y'all old heads, man, the young kids, they don't relate to you. They do. They do. See, this is my personal opinion, and I want my brothers to give me theirs. I've always felt like this. You take in the information that you want, right? Just because you see me as a old head, right? Or unk, you know what I'm saying? Old dog, whatever, right? And you're a young bull, right? You mean to tell me you can't learn something from me? Because I know I can learn something from you. This is what life is about. This is what keeps the gears running, keep them greased, the axles greased. It's information, perspective, and information. Um, like I said, guys, let me do a little bit of housekeeping, and then I want to get your opinion about that. And like I said, you don't need a long soliloquy of, you know, now just tell me what you think. This first thing to pop in your mind. But this is Strong Perspective Podcast, and even though uh, if you see us live or you catch us later in the shorts and the reels or on our channel, we do have a following. We do have a tribe. I need our tribe to show up and take us out of our realm and push us into another algorithm so we can add to our tribe, so we can build, because the art of conversation has been whittled down to 30 seconds to a minute. And then people establish uh, uh, lifelong opinions off that 30 seconds to a minute. And that's bullshit. You can't do it. But that's just my opinion. Um, Jacquard, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. Holding on with both hands. Everything was on an even keel today. No issues at work, and it worked out to probably the best way, in the best way they could.
Okay. Okay. Fluke, how was your day today, brother?
my day was good, man. It was something that I could manage. Even if it was a bad day, I could still manage that also, man. It's just about putting things in perspective, bro.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So what y'all think about what I said earlier?
I, for one, man, I say, it all depends on the circumstances, man. Dealing with these young people, man. If it's something, man, that you did yourself, man, you can't be a hypocrite about it. You just have to say, hey, I know what you're going through, and I got a suggestion, but it's up to you whether or not you want to accept it. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't, they don't. I mean, it ain't like I accepted all advice. We all got our maturation process. We go through what we go through, and The goal is to try to be our better selves.
Yeah.
And that pretty much, you know, pretty much, make things closer in person. In terms of individual. So you
Gotcha.
can't be like what everybody else wants you to be. You have to be who you are. Your best self. So that's how I look at it.
Okay. I think you have a great point, and get to you 1 second, Jaquari. Have a great point, but you also they have also have a responsibility to listen to what you have to say, even though you don't want to be a hypocrite. It's still you by you even saying something to them, you don't want them to go through the same shit that you went through. I mean, I don't want to put no words in my mouth, but in order for you to actually say something to them, you don't want them to bump their head.
Well, you can lead a horse to water, bro.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Jaquari, what you think?
I'll say simply enough, man, that you know, Damon, he kind of put it into perspective for me when he talked about the maturation process. You know what I mean? It's yeah, these lessons are here. We as unks and old heads, man, we have these lessons to impart, but we we're in a constant state of forgetting that it took us time to learn those lessons too. We heard the exact same advice and rhetoric that we give out today. We
Yeah,
heard it all,
yeah,
you know,
I agree.
but like the people who said those things to us, uh, us getting it, it triggered their impatience, because I mean, depending on what kind of life you want to live, somebody who's a living blueprint, and all you got to do is listen. 9 times out of 10, somebody who's really in your corner will hold your hand through the process, you know. But I mean, independence is a motherfucker, man. You know,
Yeah,
it's a good thing, but it's a double-edged sword. You know, you don't find out that you're not capable of certain shit until you fail at that thing a couple of times, and you remember those old lessons.
yeah,
You say until you get your head bumped on, bro.
So
yeah.
you get your head bought. That's right.
I tell you, I agree with both of you guys. But I'm gonna tell you one thing that I always take. I don't know if it was our dad or another old head. They said, well, listen, everybody's not gonna listen to you. Hell, you don't listen. But our responsibility is to plant the seed. Planting the seed is saying something to you. Somebody else or that individual that you're talking to may sow that seed so it can grow. But their early experience with you spend time planting seeds. You know what I'm saying? We do it with our children, but see, we got a little bit more control and sway over our children because they care about our opinion, right? But when it comes to people outside of that, the only thing I believe we could do is plant a seed. Plant a seed for someone else or that individual to sow, so those roots can sprout and grow. You know what I mean?
It's like I heard Fred Khan say one day. He said, "You eat Burger King, man, for a week straight, you gonna be dead. A cat ain't gonna listen to that until you don't have blood pressure pills. You know what I'm saying?"
What you say? What you say? The minister was right.
Hmm.
I mean, that's
Bro,
just how simple it is, bro.
I tell you, I had to learn the hard way. Just a little bit about myself. Type 2 diabetic, and being a type 2 diabetic for roughly 16 years, maybe, right? And the reason why I'm a type 2 diabetic is because I did not listen. Because when you get into the and I'm letting people know right now, when you get into the pre-diabetic stages and your doctor tell you that, change your freaking diet and you're going to reverse it. That means if you drinking every Friday, suck that up and decrease that. No, not drinking, getting drunk, right? Or if you have if you eat a lot of fast food before you've been told you're pre-diabetic, you can reverse it. Anyone can reverse it if and people think it's a drastic change. And oh man, I don't want to do no, pay attention. Drink more water, eat more greens, walk a little bit. You feel what I'm saying? And you can reverse it. I didn't listen. But it got to the point where my sugar wasn't out of control, like high levels and shit like this. But the longer it stays around, the longer it will affect you. You dig what I'm saying? It's the long term. Diabetes, the long term effects is what gets you. That's what gets you. The long term effects. I'm not preaching. What I'm saying to you is seeds were planted, right? But they wasn't sold until I started getting the second part of that.
And the hard head always gonna make a soft ass back.
Always. Excuse me for a second.
How'd the grandbaby do today, man?
She did great, man. She did great.
Yeah.
She said she wanted to write her alphabets and shit. So I
Really?
sat next to her and she started tracing them joints out, man. And I'm watching and I'm like, damn, okay. I gotta step my game up now. You know what I'm saying? She didn't grasp that.
Yeah.
You know.
Teacher is a teacher cursive, man. Kids don't know how to write in cursive nowadays.
Now that's gonna be a task. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you don't remember?
That's one of the situations. I'll be like, no, I just showed you how to do it. Now that ain't how what I showed you. You know, and she gonna look at me like, all right, I'm gonna go back and watch Gracie, man, because you all in your feelings, man. Patience, granddad, patience. But no, man, she's doing good, man. Amazes me every day, man, and I'm blessed, man. I feel it. You know what I'm saying? No matter what's happening in the world, man, her presence makes me optimistic, man. Real talk. You know.
That's good to hear, man. I'm glad to hear that for real. I mean, something so regular. You know, spending time with your grandkids and everything, man. You know, it's incredibly wild how that shit could be taken for granted, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
You know, they come through, they come through, they be a little sick and sniffly and shit, man, and be irritable, man. And the only thing you can think about is when they gonna leave.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you give you 2-3 days without seeing them, man, and you know.
Oh man, that's a terrible thing, ain't it, bro?
Yeah.
You know, you talk to them like they're a grown person. Well, what? Well, how's your life? How you been?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I get it, bro. I get it.
Yeah.
You know, keep things
And
in its proper perspective.
absolutely, man. And it's funny, man, how common things, man, can have such a major effect on you. You know,
Sure.
after you acquire those things. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like grandkids and everything, man. Shit, I didn't like before I had them. I shit. You know, I didn't understand the value of time spent. You know what I mean? But I haven't been in the same room with him in such a long time, man. Seriously, and you know, it's affected. I know it's affected us. You know what I mean? I know it's affected us. I mean, because I sit around thinking about whether they even remember me, man.
Wow, bro.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
seem like you
and
handling it well, though.
well, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I mean, but that's just that's just surface. You know what I mean? That's absolutely surface, man. I mean, that's been my whole life. You know what I mean? Just putting on a good face,
Mm.
and that could be said for everybody. You know what I mean? You know the adversities we deal with every day, man, and freaking surpass. You know, is that they're phenomenal, man. Seriously, man. You know, it's we've all been through shit to where you know we might think that certain people in our lives couldn't handle it. You know, and trauma trauma is a wild thing, man. It really is. You know, because a motherfucker, you know, in childhood, you know, some things might happen to you. You might develop some habits or whatever, man. But you know, over the years, if you don't address those motherfuckers, man, they turn into monsters, man. Monsters that you have to feed. Trauma's become a major motherfucking part of your responsibility, man. You know, if you can understand what I mean by that.
You know, I appreciate it. Me and you talk off camera about that, man, because
Well,
I'm
I
feeling the
mean,
type of way. You know what I'm
I
saying?
get it.
But I want to keep
I
it,
understand. I understand. I understand. I mean, I ain't trying to, I ain't trying to dig a hole for us or nothing like that. You know, I'm just, you know, keep us on the phone and got down. We we had we had to stretch until he got back.
That's the fella.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, my brother be on my mind, man. I want to make sure he all right. That's all.
Well, I'm just talking, man. I ain't going through nothing. I ain't cut my hair or nothing. You know, I still got my beard on my face.
Say,
So it ain't nothing deep going on. Shit.
okay, all right. Then we good, then, man. You know, hey Keith, man, you on mute, man, or something? Is he on the phone?
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, slightly damn it! I said some good shit while I was unplugged, man.
It looked like it was profound, bro.
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't. It wasn't. I was just responding on the trauma thing, not to get into it because everybody handles their trauma differently, right? Me personally, when somebody tell me they went through some shit, the one thing that I do is I cannot. I will listen. You understand what I'm saying? I will listen to them. You know, and
The
we,
worst thing you, the worst thing you can do is try to out sorrow a motherfucker, man. Don't
you know,
nobody want to
I think people think that helps
hear
when you tell say a person that went through something and may not be, it might be on par as what you went through, or you went through a little more, and you give them that. See, people think that you're helping them by giving them your story. Sometimes it works, in my opinion, but a lot of times your story, when it comes unsolicited, is more impactful than when this person, this man and this woman is in the middle of they trauma. Then you say, yeah, man, I understand because when I was 15, I dropped 3 nickels and I couldn't find but 2. You feel what I'm saying? Then like in their mind, it's like, you know what? I dig it, but damn, bro, it's about me. You know what I'm
I
saying?
Hey,
mean, you definitely have to be prudent with it, man. I mean, you
right.
have to be.
Now,
One of my,
if you ask me, yeah. But what I would say to them is, especially when they were on the roll, right? I would say, well, listen, I understand, and that is putting it out there. I understand. So I give that person the opportunity to say, well, how do you understand? Now I can say, well, look, this is what I went through. See, that it's the timing of it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
definitely the timing of it.
You
I
know,
remember,
because oh no, hey man, you gonna be all right, man. Because look, I had 3 toes and them motherfuckers grew to 4. But hey, I'm good
you
now.
know,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
remember
Like,
one time. I remember one time years and years ago, you had called me because you had some shit on your mind, and you told me what the situation was, and I ran with it. You was emotional and shit, and I ran with it. And you just listened, just calmly and all that shit. And then, when I got done with my shit, you say, "Hey man, next time I call you with some shit, man, I'm not asking for your damn opinion. I'm just getting some shit off my chest, man.
Mhm.
Do you understand that?"
I mean,
so
but I mean, like trauma bonds and shit, man. Keep us engaged in the conversation, man. I mean, like I said, you have to be prudent
yeah.
as to when to add and just when to shut the fuck up.
Okay, so I have a question for both of y'all, and tell me what your opinion about this. I feel this way, but I want to know if you guys can relate. When I run into a weaker man who's trying to explain away his not mistake, but being fucked up, and he used the words trauma as an excuse, right? And it's all relative. This is your opinion about it because this person might be serious about it, right? But do you find yourself like, I'm gonna listen to him, but I'm gonna hold my tongue? I
I mean,
sometimes when I was younger, let me rephrase it. When I was younger, I was judgmental. When I had a friend come to me and just tell me everything, and especially if I was going through some shit, and I'm in my mind, I'm thinking, fuck, I wish the fuck I was going through what you going through. You know what I'm saying?
so are you
Is it wrong? Is it
when
wrong to be? The question is it wrong to be judgmental when somebody's talking about their trauma?
well
And I'm
uh
not talking about comparing the two. I'm talking about inside. I'm saying you doing the right thing by listening and giving them the opportunity to get it out, right? But is it wrong for you to feel like this man or this woman just don't understand?
it's it's the difference between judgment and discernment, man.
Gotcha.
I mean, discernment, in my opinion, man, look, this is something that, I, I don't fuck with and I would never fuck with. Me and this person have some sort of connection. That's why they feel comfortable enough to speak to me about it.
Hmm.
So, depending on what the offense was, air quotes, I would probably be interested in protecting that connection. You know what
Gotcha.
I mean? So me, I would try to leave judgment out of it. Hadn't always been the case though,
Yeah.
because I used to be a real judgmental motherfucker myself. And that was that stemmed from a lack of experience, a
Yeah.
lack of life experience.
Maturity.
Things happen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, things happen, man. You win and you lose. You
Yeah.
know, and it's
Yeah.
as simple as that. It all depends on, you know, the outcome. All depends on how you handle it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, shit. You, it could be several things in your life, man, that you're spinning your wheels on, man. You know, and you hitting that wall and you can't understand why you're not progressing. But it's that like I said before, it's that one thing, man, that you know that you do pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, and that one thing we fail to acknowledge as human beings. You know, because sometimes that's all you got.
Yeah. Yeah.
My
I,
bad,
I,
fellas. I had to turn the other fan off because I can barely hear y'all, man.
I had to. You all right, man? I had to hold on. I use it to hold on to my sanity, man. Because see, I see it as y'all know me as a problem solver to try to solve a problem. So I do have the patience to listen. It's sort of like the prerequisite of being wanting to solve a problem. You gotta listen first, right? I think what bothers me the most is the fact that I do not, and I did it when I was younger, and you alluded to it, Jaquari. I do not want to look at somebody differently because I didn't think that what they was going through would warrant how they was going through it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yo, man, suck that up. You know what I mean? I'm ashamed that how many times I said that when I was in my 20s to somebody. I'm ashamed about it because it's not that fucking easy. Because what I did in my 20s, I ignored what I was going through and I just kept pushing forward. You dig what I'm saying?
But that's, I mean, that's what we taught, man. I mean, no matter what the circumstance is, man, you know, we're supposed to put our shoulders on adversity and push.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't matter, you know, how much damage is caused in the wake.
And
You
it,
know,
but it,
the fact that we move that problem in our minds is paramount. That's all that
and
matters.
you got to think about it. For us in the group that we're in, our age group, it was a matter of survival, community survival, to ignore it and push on, right? Because now, what do we do now? We hear about trauma. We hear about therapy. You feel what I'm saying? We hear about it all the time. I'm talking about amongst men like us. Therapy. Therapy is what got me, you know, different places. Because we all we affected in different degrees. Like Corey Thompson, friend of the show. I've always welcomed him to come on the show because he's talked about, especially when it comes to relationship, men and women relationship, he's always talked about seeking therapy. You know what I mean? A lot of men and a lot of women, mostly men in our age group, didn't really want to fuck with it because it didn't make logical sense. Because all this person was going to do is sit there and take notes about the things that we emphasize as we speaking to them. And then what they would do is give their opinion about certain points, right? Which is helpful. But in my 40s, I didn't want to hear that.
You know, the ironic kick in the ass is for me, Keith, is the fact that, you know, we as black men in particular don't trust therapists, but we go to an airport and tell a stranger all of our fucking business.
A fucking bartender,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean that, you know,
And, look, and your
it
side
it
piece,
it, it just all boils yeah, it just all
look,
boils down.
knock on the door. Now this is a reenactment, folks. This ain't no real shit. But knock on the door, open up the door, she let you in, you sit down, you taking your shoes off, and she say, so did Junior ever get that A on that test? I know y'all stayed up all night with it.
No,
That ain't what
Junior came home and said, I said, hey, how was the test, Junior? It was fucked up. That's how it was.
No. But that's my whole point though. Is
that ain't what I'm here for.
bartenders, barbers, women, if you have a side relationship, they hear all your toughest problems, but you don't say nothing about it in the house because your
Yeah.
wife has a certain way that she sees you, and you don't want her to panic.
Either way you look at it, it can be looked at as weakness, man, because motherfuckers use that shit against you.
Yeah, that's true.
But here's the thing, man. Here's the difference between talking to a bartender or whoever. Man. Here's the difference with a licensed therapist who know what the hell they're doing, man. They don't give you a out, man, for you to stay in your same feelings, man. They listen to you and they say, okay, this is where he's struggling at, but he don't see it.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This is where he constantly make mistakes at.
Mm-hmm.
And dig a further hole for himself, and he don't see that shit. That's the therapist's job, to make sure that you understand what you're projecting out in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And what you're willing to deal with or not deal with. Are you escaping reality? You know what I'm saying? Or are you addressing the things that you are going through personally yourself, but you're putting that off on, I'm pissed off and it's the world's fault.
Yeah.
Instead of you internalizing what they're saying in the action steps that they're giving you. And the action step does not involve the world. The action steps involve you, whether or not you make the right decision to hang with the same people who put you in the trick bag. You know what I'm saying? It's about you recognizing yourself. You know what I'm saying? And then you can build from there. A man can build on something, man, from his mistakes.
Yeah.
And know how to move forward with it, and don't have to even deal with that issue anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's success.
Yeah. Well, this next question I have when Jaquari gets back, but this next question I have for all three of us, because it's related whether or not you're married or you're single. When you're in a relationship with someone, right? Is you, as a man, young and old, is your relationship from your point of view driven? Is your relationship from your point of view driven off of your ego and you being in control of it? Example I have to say is, say if you or your girlfriend or your wife come to you with a problem, right? And you give your answer, but it's not popular with them. And they're not blatant, or sometimes they are blatant, but they're not blatant. They try to circumvent what decision you made when it comes to your family unit.
Now you say if they come with you with a problem,
When they come to you with a problem and they don't like what you said, your solution, don't like your solution, right? This is something I'm just spitballing right now. They don't like your solution, but this is relevant though. They don't like your solution, but instead of hearing what you have to say and following it, because in your mind you want the family, your family's well-being overrides any individual thing, right? So you make the decision you make, and this is my assumption as far as being the head of a household or a couple. You make the decision based on how it affects the union, right? but they ignore it because it's not what they wanted to hear. My question is, what is your response to that?
Well, if I wasn't if I was on some ego shit, I would probably ask her why she came to me with that shit in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I mean, in all my years of marriage or whatever, man, that's just something I'm steadily learning that it's definitely not all about me, and it's a collaborative thing. And unless it's a personal attack, I need to do the best that I can to keep myself in a certain mindset, you know, that's conducive to the family unit.
To pick up the pieces, yeah,
Right.
just in case.
Well, here's
Success
my
is
answer.
success. Success is success, man. I don't give a damn who spurns it.
That's real.
Well, here's my answer to that question, man. As I try to understand it, man. If my significant other comes to me with a problem, and my solution is for the benefit of the family, you have to put your shit on the back burner. That's not serving anybody any purpose. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's genuine when that person comes to you. It's genuine and it's about them and what they're going through. You know what I'm saying? How are you helping them in that regard if you're just being about the whole when they came to you about the individual? See what I'm saying? If you don't have the answers to the question, then you might suggest another avenue or another outlet or whatever. That's therapy, you know. But if a person comes to you, just like, for example, my son came to me one time years ago, came to me one time about something that I can identify with. And I said, well, this is what I did. And this is what I did and that and that and this. And after listening to me, you know what his response was? But I ain't you, man. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
that's exactly my point. That's what is your reaction? See, I'm understanding that your reaction is okay. I accept that, and you just move on. But
But
you asked what Jaquari said, and I'm gonna let you finish. Jaquari said, "Well, if my ego was in the way, why'd you come and ask me if you wasn't gonna believe it?" That's all. But go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
see, you have to be able to differentiate when there's a time to use your ego or not. You know what I'm saying? You have to figure that out, man. If it doesn't
Mhm.
coincide with the problem they brought to you, then it's just a waste of time, and they're not getting answers. You might be stroking your own ego in the process, but you know what is that? What are they getting out of it?
Gotcha.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if they trust, because if a person comes to you, this is what we have to keep in mind. If a person comes to you with a problem that they're going through,
Lawrence, what's going on,
what's
baby?
going on, cousin?
Cuz
Love you, man.
They come with you with a problem that they're going through, then you got to figure out how to be a listener. We spoke about that earlier when I told you about that situation with me and you. You was like, you told me what you was going through, and I went through my whole thing, and you was like, next time I call you, man, I just need you to listen. You know, and that right there holds water more than anything. Listening, you might
But
not
it's also
see
based on the relationship too, though. I knew
yeah.
I could say that to
That
you.
that's pivotal too. It's based on the
Yeah.
relationship. You know, so love you too, cuz.
me too, cuz.
Love you too, baby.
So what I had to learn, man, is I had to listen. You know, and they might be going through some shit that pissed me off. Somebody caused them to feel the way they was feeling. Pissed me off. Oh, I got a whole bunch of advice about that. But do I have the wherewithal to guide them within their own words and their own discoveries to solve the problem? You know what I'm saying? That's what's pivotal.
Gotcha.
And it brings me to the question, man, why isn't active listening a part of school curriculum?
That's a great fucking
It's a
question.
great question. Why isn't active listening a part of our community's family shit? You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it, man. We were blessed, and this is what I'm saying to you, dog. We was blessed because our parents were active listeners, right? But they was old school at the same damn time too. Where I'm telling you to do this, and I expect you to do it. You feel what I'm saying? Because I learned how to do that, be an active listener from conversations with our mother and our father. You feel what I'm saying? Because you know, we didn't get a lot of those opportunities, but as we got older, they became a bunch. We was able to like, yo, check this out. Da da da. Even it might have been that we didn't get the fucking answer we wanted. You know what I'm saying? They
You
But
mean
but
because
the
I
the,
said
the,
so?
yeah, the point is the point and the point was, man, that you we were taught how to engage in proper conversation. The give and take of you know of the fucking pursuit of understanding. Okay, I can't hear you if you constantly interrupt me. But what I can do is let you get all your shit out and you know do the best I can, you know, to either respond or rebut. You know what I mean? It's about communication, man. We as human beings, man, you know, require communications to thrive, but we don't really know how to fucking do it.
Engagement. You're right.
because we only take the first half of it. A good friend
Yeah,
of mine,
but
Kerwin Hinton, right? He said something that reminded me and reinforced what our father used to say, right? One day we was on a call. I'm former law enforcement. We're on a call, and it's a heated situation, domestic, heated. So he's trying to just sort things out, and the man, I think deep down he knew we was getting ready to take him to jail. White guy, he's getting loud and belligerent. So Kerwin looked at me and said, "Hey, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait for you to finish talking, and then I'm gonna talk." And I swear to God, I warped back to our father when he said to me, "Hey, I'm gonna listen to you." But he said, "But you're doing more talking than listening." You feel what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Damon, you was gonna say something, man. I cut you off.
no, what I was going to say, man, is that I think every person, every human being, feel appreciated, man. You know, the first thing, we are reactionary, man. So if you go into a situation where somebody's belligerent, and the first initial thought is to control that situation, you know, and that requires listening also, you know, and patience, you know. And I think that sometimes, man, when you're in those type of situations, man, or whatever, man, you have your own preconceived idea of what's happening, but it might not be the case, man. You know what I'm saying? It might not be the case. The only thing we're doing is reacting to the behavior. And it's like, if a person just stopped to think that this person is mad for a reason, this person is belligerent for a reason, you know, is it incumbent upon us to figure out what that is? Now, if it gets out of control, then you handle the situation accordingly. But if that person is expressing that anger and that whatever they're expressing, I think, man, that it it requires a certain amount of understanding and patience in that regard. You know what I'm saying? Because they might say something that might diffuse the whole situation,
I agree. I
you
agree.
know.
But I'll throw my little thing in there. Like it got to be somebody that I care about.
Yeah, I mean, we all have that thing, man. That you know, I want to sit here and listen to you, but you don't scream on me, man. Don't
Yeah, yeah.
don't point your fingers at me. Don't. That's
Check
that's
your
just
tone.
human nature. That's
Check
just
your
human
tone.
nature.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
And
and it
and
takes.
then the funny thing, Jacor, I had to correct that myself. You know what I'm saying?
But
I
it's
had to
like what
correct
Jacory said
that.
earlier. It's about discernment, man.
Yeah, yeah. I had to correct that. I had to, because
Mhm.
it was not that I was doing it on threat, but that energy. You know what I'm saying? Like that dog in you gets you all like, you know what I
Energy
mean?
matches energy. Right.
Exactly.
You're
And
right.
then as I got older, I'm like, well, shit, I'm 6'9". You know what I'm saying? I'm considered a threat. You know what I'm saying? At all times. So I was like, okay, let me just do this. I'm gonna give you a little bit of distance if we in a heated argument, but I'm gonna sit there, I'm gonna look at you, I'm gonna look you straight in your eyes, I'm gonna hear you. You know what I'm saying? Now you get out of pocket, I'm gonna respond to that. But my point is, when we doing this and all this, now it's up to somebody to make a decision. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and in your situation, it's self-preservation.
Yeah. So I really had to learn that. Now up on the screen, Lawrence says, because I just want to read it real quick because it's relative to what we're saying. Because most people talk to be heard and not to listen. And that's relevant to what we're saying right now, which is a good point, right?
Mhm.
And then this next one is reactive listening. So instead of actively listening to hear what's actually being said, it's actually like you just reacting, you just going tit for tat. You know what I mean? You're just going back and forth. Even though you heard what he's saying, right? But you are not taking the time to, especially if it's somebody you care about. See, I keep going back to that. You know, you have to slow up a beat because if you turn it into a pissing contest, ain't nobody gonna win. You know what I mean? It's not gonna happen.
Right.
I mean, yeah. It's a human thing, man, because it's a part of socialization. No other creatures, well, not a lot of creatures, not a lot of other creatures on the face of the earth, socialize the way that humans do. And if you look at fucking chimpanzee population or whatever,
I done
the
seen them whoop
motherfuckers,
ass.
yeah, they war all the time over
They
subtle
do.
shit.
They do.
You know, could you imagine if they were as fucking overt as we were?
First of all, the chimpanzees are the Europeans because the Europeans always won. They
I
always
got
won.
to work Monday. I got a job. What the fuck is you doing, man?
Oh my god! If they asked you,
Look,
say he was just speaking
look,
out how he
listen,
felt.
Yeah,
listen,
it's
listen,
here in North Carolina. What the fuck I'm supposed to do about that?
listen. I'm like this. Let me just poke it a little bit. We gonna circle back. All right, let's change this up just a little bit. Not much, but we're gonna change it up with this question. We talked about it yesterday. LeBron James, right? His son, he made history. You know what I'm saying? Well, he'll be playing with his son this year.
That's a beautiful thing, bro.
Do you agree or disagree how people are up in arms screaming nepotism, right? And the reason why I say that is, and this is not a color thing when I say it. I use color for reference. In the corporate, I don't even have to use color. In the corporate arena, there are sons, there are daughters, there are nephews who are being put in positions to run certain companies, right, to succeed because they want to keep that in. And it's nepotism every day. In the actual NBA, is nepotism. and people ignore it. But when it came to, is it the hate or dislike of LeBron James is why people are screaming nepotism?
I mean, is it nepotism or is it lineage, man? I mean, a man, a man, a man's goals and dreams, man, is to build something and pass it on to his children.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's basketball, it's the NBA, man. But LeBron James has worked hard over the years, man. He done worked hard over the years,
He the James Brown of
and
the NBA, ain't he?
yeah, if his son is half a talent as he is, he that would probably be his biggest accomplishment. It's damn near in the Constitution, man. We have a right as American citizens, man, for the pursuit of happiness, man,
Yes,
for
sir.
ourselves and for our children.
Yes, sir.
Speak, bro.
So I mean, hey, man, I didn't believe it. It was like when Joe Biden called the goddamn president of Ukraine Putin. I didn't believe that shit. I ain't believe. I was like, what, they gonna let him do what for free?
Yeah.
I'm like, man, shit. LeBron, hell yeah, pick him up. I'll pay him myself. Y'all ain't got to spend a
Oh
dime on him.
my God.
I will pay him myself. You
Oh,
goddamn right.
bro.
Now,
Hey,
I
bro.
love it. I love it.
And you know what, man? When you done, bro,
now, yeah, you next, Fluke, after you're done.
I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I don't give a damn what nobody thinks. If I'm in the NBA and I have a chance to play with my son, you can say nepotism. You can say whatever the hell you want to say because guess what? At the end of the day, no matter who says what, be he a failure or whatever, I had the opportunity to be on the court with him to try to make. It's not even about history, man. It's about playing in the NBA with your son, bro.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think it's a beautiful story, man.
Are you out your
Man,
mind?
look,
You think I ain't gonna try to take advantage of that, man?
He gonna be
that
taking
man, that man has an opportunity, man, to not only say to the world, show to the world that my stock, my fucking stock, the James stock is the best motherfucking basketball stock in the goddamn world.
and depending to me if he, especially if he pans out and becomes a pretty good pro, which I always thought, but I thought he should have stayed 4 years to be. I'm gonna keep it a buck. But his dad is taking fucking icy hot baths and shit, man. So he's on fumes, even though he's 39 doing this thing.
Oh, he's still balling out.
Yeah, he's still balling out. So, but I think LeBron only got 2 years, man. He only got 2 years before.
He got 2 years with his son, bro.
I know that, and that's why I think it's a beautiful thing.
That's like a 3 wishes. One of 3 wishes, man, from a genie,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah. I just think, man, that sometimes, man, we get blinded by our what's the word am I looking for? Our loyalty to certain players. Like LeBron James is disliked because people in his generation compare him to Michael Jordan. That's why he's disliked. Think about that. Which, me personally, I don't believe in GOATs, man. I've never believed in it. I believe in your favorite players. You know what I'm saying? You got favorite players. And you can sit here and tell me all day, talk to me all day about why that's your favorite player. But then as soon as you say, hey, he's the greatest, you cannot have the greatest of all time if the game is still going. That's my opinion now.
Yeah,
It's still going.
I never heard it that way, bro. That was very significant.
Think about it. Think about the stuff that Wilt did. I don't care that you know.
Ain't nobody like Wilt, bro.
I'm talking about these young analytic dudes, man, who didn't even see Jordan play, right? But talk about, oh yeah, he played against construction workers and longshoremen and shit like that. And you know what I'm saying? They said Wilt was the only 7-footer during that time. Come on, man, stop.
Oh,
Man.
that wasn't true.
That's what I'm talking about. But my point, here's my point. He did great stuff, right? Great stuff on the basketball court that's still lasting to this day, right? But guess what? He stopped playing in 76. And we're in 2024. That means the game kept going. And Jordan did first of all, Larry Bird and Magic did what they did. Kareem still on top of the heap, but he did what he did, right?
He my GOAT, man. I'm gonna be honest.
You know what I'm saying? Kareem did what he did. Magic and Bird did what they did. Jordan got a hell of a resume, did what he did. But when's the last year that Jordan played? 90s, right?
98, 99, something like that.
But that's my point. My point is the game is still going. Why the hell change it from the GOAT until this is my favorite player? And just leave it alone. That's all.
I might be wrong. I might be wrong in my thinking, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I don't think there is a man in whatever sport you choose. I don't think it's a man that ever lived on this planet did not want to play some type of professional sport with their son.
Of course.
I don't think it's not one man. If it is, come on, dude. I mean, that's another situation to address, man. But a man who's raising a son,
yeah,
you have the opportunity to play on the highest level with that kid,
to influence them to pick.
And then say I'm guilty of nepotism, that I influence things in this way or that way.
The world revolves around nepotism, bro. It's what it is. But pay attention to what Malika said on the screen.
Right.
So he said it was definitely nepotism by definition. There are more qualified players. However, I'm not mad at LeBron. I applaud them, and they're mad at him for dying what they
Doing.
It should be doing what they do. How dare he? But see, here's the thing, Malika. Where his son was drafted, where Bronny was drafted, you might as well call that a free agent tryout. It didn't affect the good players at 55. You see what I'm saying? It did not cancel somebody out because the NBA only has 2 rounds, right? And really the only ones who guaranteed to stick is the first round, right? But they only be there for a couple years before they have to move on, before they get tired of it. But my point is, it's not hurting because he's a 2-way contract guy. You know what I'm saying? Christmas time, we're going to give you the gift. LeBron James and Bronny are going to be playing together on Christmas Day.
And here's the thing that's crazy, bro. Here's the thing that's crazy. If you look at the situation for what it is, man, LeBron didn't say, hey, man, I need my son here. I need my son there. Y'all need to do this for me. He didn't do that, man. What LeBron did.
Come on, homie. Come on.
Hold on, man. Let me finish my point.
Okay.
What LeBron did was, man, you don't think LeBron know his son, man, and what he's capable of? And what he's capable of? What LeBron created was an opportunity for his son to prove himself to himself, man.
Oh shit. Okay. I got a question.
Because if Bronny don't pan out, he gonna get caught, man.
Yeah.
LeBron cannot justify his son being on the team and his son is not producing anything. He gave his son the opportunity to prove himself to himself. That's what he did.
All right, let me ask y'all this question. It's basically, I'm gonna give you two choices, right? If you come up with another choice, then let me know. Did LeBron, and I know what he did was influence Lakers front office, is what he did.
Yeah.
You know
We
what I
can
mean?
accuse him of
And,
that.
and Laker front office knew that was the right pick because what they trying to do is put asses in the seat. But was LeBron's motivation for him, or was it for him and his legacy, or was it for his son, Bronny?
I think it was for his son.
Three choices. Was it for his son, Bronny? Was it for him and his legacy, or was it a little of both?
I think that his legacy can be damaged by that, man. But I think that he put his trust and his belief in his son. You know what I'm saying? Because if his son washes out, if he washes out, what the naysayers gonna say? He used nepotism and his son couldn't cut the mustard. But he putting his trust in his son. Hey man, here's an opportunity for you. Show your worth, show your mettle. Get down. I'm gonna help you with it also. You know what I'm saying? Not the fallout, but the benefits is actually being on the same floor with your son. You know what I'm saying? But being on the same floor with your son, you have to produce. Because all Bronny got to do when LeBron bringing the ball up the court, when they went through their little moves and all that stuff and setting picks and all that stuff, and Bronny is sitting over in the corner, and his daddy passed him that ball, and he knocked down that three. You know what I'm saying? And then he come back down and he drop a pass or whatever, and his son lay that ball up. Then everybody should shut the hell up.
It's an easy execution of history, is what you're saying.
Yeah, everybody should shut the hell up. Now, if he set up the play and he passes it out to Bronny and Bronny by himself, and he hit the backboard, you know what I'm saying? Then there's more work to be done, and then people going to question it, whatever. But if he knocked that joint down, bro, you know what I'm saying? Then he's supposed to be there. He's supposed to be there.
I think he's athletic.
He knocked it down in real time.
I think he's athletic enough to be there, right? But if we're gonna look at, you gotta think about it. He had a heart attack, so you know he came in a little bit before half the season was over with, right? So he had to really adapt, but he played for the rest of the year, and his numbers were not great, 6 points and something like that. But my point is, when he went to the Chicago camp, they measure you off what you do on the skill, that as far as the vertical and all the different things, shuttle drills and all that. And they said that he was above a lot of players because of it.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So potential. So the NBA, they only draft off potential now.
Look who he grew up with. Shit. He had,
I have never, I would never have ever thought that the NBA would draft, but when you're 21 years old, you're considered too old for the NBA.
I never heard that.
Brother, they are not drafted. It's probably 5 people, upperclassmen, that was drafted. These guys was all 18, 19-year-old guys. And they was drafted off potential.
You want to know what I think about, Keith? Spoke. I think about all the cats we played with in college and high school and all that stuff that played in the pros, and we was like, how the hell they make this shit, man? And what was the response all the time, man? It has something to do with politics.
It
You know
is
what I'm
what it is, man. I
So
mean,
it's not a new phenomenon, man.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not a new phenomenon. And they journey, man, and all they got to do is be on the bench, man, for what? How many years before they can get a pension? And all they are practice players, bro. You know
Look,
what I'm
look. The funny thing is, what's the kid, the Christie, for the Lakers, Fluke? Christie. You know, he did the same thing as Bronny, where he was the two-way guy, right? But he never really got in the game. He got in the game when it was, and he was there for 2 years. And you see how much money he just got paid when he signed his contract? And he was not relevant.
Right.
I think he got 20 million over something, 30. I don't know the numbers. But my point is, this man barely played in the last 2 years, 2-3 years. And he stuck it out, and the Lakers paid him this amount of money.
Look at what the oblique said.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, let me ask you guys this question. If you were to be, if you were able to position yourself in whatever you wanted to do right now at this age, put yourself in position and you had the opportunity to do it. Talk about job and whatever, right? What would it be?
Wow. You know, as wild as the scene has been over the past 10 years, man, you know, I'll be in Hollywood shit.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay. Why is that? Well, what exactly? I mean, other than you're an actor, I get that, but give us a little bit more.
I mean, I just like to make people smile, man.
Okay. All right. Fluke.
For me, and this is something that I have to deal with on an individual level, man. If I was to be anything, that would have been whatever I gave my 100% to. You know what I'm saying? I played basketball, man. I didn't give 100% to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Just to see, what I could have become.
Hold on, man. Humor me. If it was something that you could put yourself into doing right now, what would it be?
I would be a college professor.
Okay.
Be a junior.
You and I have had these conversations, brother.
Be
I asked that
junior
for a
college.
reason.
Be a junior college or 4 year. You know what I'm saying? No
Yeah.
matter what level. You know what I'm saying? It's something intriguing about dealing with young folks, man, who comes in 4 years in, comes in and it's a 4-year exchange, man, and you just constantly dealing with new people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And trying to influence them, which is a challenge. You know, trying to influence them, man, in what you're grounded in, which is teaching, and getting them to understand it and learning themselves. That's what I would, if I had my choice, that's what I would be.
I think the way I would answer this question was, it's not a name to what I would put myself in to be, but the explanation of it will really, truly help you guys understand. I would want to be in a financial position that I would be a blessing to others.
So you wouldn't be a booster?
Yeah, a booster in life then. Yeah. Because I you know why? Because over the years, man, and I've come to this, and I put a lot of thought in this thing. Over the years, I've put myself in a position where I needed cash in influx to do a certain thing, right? And that's the kind of entity I would like to be. If somebody needs something, right? Have an organization with no, no strings attached, and help them in that moment. You feel what I'm saying?
That's giving a shit about your community, bro.
Yeah. I get it. But but cause see that I think that's just personal for me, man. To be honest with you, because I don't want no credit. I don't even want people to know. All I know is I would love that because, man, working 30 years at my job, law enforcement, right? It's funny, man, going into these homes when people been victimized, right? Been victimized in all kinds of ways. And I used to just come and do my job, but I would leave with a piece of those people. And I'm talking about white and black, but mostly black. And I used to say to myself, man, I wish I had a card to give them so they could go. Go like, hey, Deputy Armstrong gave me this card and said, you guys could help me and my family out in certain ways. Refer me to a job situation, give me a food bank referral, you know what I mean? Transportation. I mean, you understand where I'm getting at? It's like,
Yeah, and all those
and
things.
not to carry somebody. No, I'm talking about some people. It would do wonders for people if they was able that one moment when they ready to fucking give up. Because a lot of times we don't get no rescue. You know what I'm saying? So you sit up there and dwell on you. You know what I mean? That's all.
Let me push back on you for a minute, bro. This is something you told me in my late 20s. When I was going through my thing or whatever. And I remember you asked me this question. You asked me. You say, "Float, man. The things that you put the work in, you work hard at, and you hone and sharpen your tools." That was your exact words. You sharpen your tools. Did you accomplish the goal? And I thought about that shit, and I was like, "Damn, I did.
Mm-hmm.
I did accomplish the goal." You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that we do that with our young people, man, because they look outside of themselves and they see a success outside of themselves. But when they put their head down to the grindstone and they work, they accomplish the goals.
Yeah,
But the real evil in the world, man, is telling them that that's not enough.
that's
You know
true.
what I'm saying? You're telling them
Trying to
that
take
it's not
control.
enough. But
Yeah.
in their own personal life or whatever, then they accomplish those goals as they set up long term and short term, and they accomplish that shit. That shit means something.
So
It means something.
so let me ask y'all this. In every successful man and woman, there was someone in their lives, one person, two person, many people, that gave them an extra boost as they were going forward to their success. Is that fair to say?
What do you mean?
I'm saying that there is somebody in your life, like no matter how successful you are. Let's sports analogy. LeBron James, right? Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Magic, all those guys. Individually, people put them on a pedestal, right? But the only way that they could get on that, I'm simplifying it, the only way they could be on that pedestal is because the shoulders of people that they met along the way.
To
You see
some
what I'm
degree,
saying?
yeah.
Because
I can
look,
agree with
I agree with you. I'm not saying ignore sharpening your tools, but also I could say that our parents gave me, when I was struggling, gave me a mental boost. You see what I'm saying? And then friends that I know who are highly successful had a mentor who said, hey, I can help this person, right? Even though they exceed their mentor, but their mentor helped them at the time when they needed help.
You know what's crazy about that, man? It remind me of a situation, man. My freshman year in college. You know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with a class or whatever. I call Pop. We talking about it and stuff like this, right? And I'm in this independent study, man, and I'm learning this and that, black theology and all that stuff, right? And then he said, one time he said, well, what did you get out of chapter 6? And I'm like, I'm in college and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what do you mean? It's a long pause. And he said, son, just because I drop out of school don't mean I stop learning, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Talk to me about chapter 6, man. You know what I'm saying? Which I was struggling with. And he gave me his thoughts and his ideas about it and all that stuff. And I'm like, wow, that's deep. You know what I'm saying? My old man, because if y'all remember, man, in the garage and shit, Mom and Pop had big ass boxes full of books and shit.
Yeah.
And the same books that he had in the boxes, I was reading from the same books in college and shit. You know, and then he said, hey man, I read every last one of them. You know, perception, man, and what it is that you think you know, you don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? People share personal things with you. They share them. And what I learned from that is that when I think about all the lessons and all that stuff, he had a plan. I wasn't aware of it, but he had a plan. You know what I'm saying? So once I realized that, I was like, man, this shit gonna be easy because I actually have not just a father figure, not just a person who's raising me, but I have somebody I can speak to on an academic level. How many people you think that knows our father knows that he was an academic motherfucker? Think about that for a minute.
I get it.
Him and Mom, is big, to be honest with you, they were academic.
So this is the last question of the day. And this is being self-aware and feeling yourself, feeling who you are at this moment. At this moment. What is your greatest strength as Damon Armstrong, Jaquari Armstrong? What is your greatest strength that you would tell somebody if you had to, if it was more valuable than money? What do you feel is your greatest strength?
Right.
Run into this bathroom, but but you understand what I'm saying, Jaquari, as far as
I do, man.
it's our moment, and then we wait on him, man, because it gives a chance to really simmer. This is our moment to be braggadocious about our self-awareness. You understand what I'm saying to you? There's no right or wrong answer to this thing. It is about who you see that you are. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, I think it is always important to know where you are in every moment of your life. So in order for you to do that, you got to know yourself. Because you know how people say that they're disappointed in their life. You know what they're looking at? They're not looking at their life. They're looking at themselves. What they think and feel where they think they see themselves doing.
I would say more so they're looking at their failures.
See, that's what I'm saying though. That's the
I
wrong
mean,
thing to do though,
it,
bro. It's the
yeah.
wrong thing to
I
do.
mean, but
Looking at your
it's
fail.
it's
I mean, everybody fail.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, but you try to reconcile, man, the fact that you're going to fail more than you're going to succeed, and how do you do that and continue to put one foot in front of the other, knowing that the majority of the shit that I'm involved in is going to end bad. I mean, if we were, if we were to condition our children, man, to learn the actual lesson, you know, I think the state of the world would be a lot better, man. Seriously. I mean, we don't teach our children how to react properly to adversity. We don't.
I,
We
I,
don't. I mean,
you don't
anytime
you don't think so?
I don't. I don't. Anytime there's a problem, man, we we might tell them to think their way through it, but you know, if they're having issues at school, what do we as parents do? We go to the school and we blame the teacher.
No, hell. Oh, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
What?
we do.
But hold on.
That might
Answer
be
the
true in
question.
some cases.
Answer. What do you feel is your greatest strength?
Well, man, I mean, I feel my greatest strength, man, is the ability, man, to to kind of kind of, man, live within both sides of the story.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The fact that I could even sit somewhere and suffer through somebody's bullshit, and I know it's bullshit, man. That for me, that's a feather in my cap because I didn't always have patience like that.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I
Okay.
mean, and I said it 1,000 times on this platform, man. Sometimes a person just has to hear themselves say a thing to understand what the answer is.
Okay.
So that's what I.
Luke, what is your greatest strength?
My
You
greatest
personally.
my greatest strength is recognizing that I'm not infallible, man. That I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? If there's a situation that arises, man, where people that I love and respect and trust say they're all saying the same things, then I have to look within myself, man, and say, did I make the right choice in that decision? You know what I'm saying? If I made the right choice, I'm humble. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a better listener because of that, because I'm capable of messing up. You know what I'm saying? And that affects lives. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
what I have to do is I have to live from the standpoint of am I going to preach to a person who did something I did my damn self, and it took me 2 or 3 tries to learn from that shit? I had to have some patience for that person too, because I'm like, hey, I get it, and then I can offer suggestions in that regard. But I never lead with my ego. I never lead with my ego because my ego is definitely would steer me in the wrong direction. And if a person that's listening to me or who has the patience enough to listen to me, and I'm giving them wrong information, what am I gonna do? Sit back and say, "Look at this dumbass motherfucker made the same mistakes I did." Just think how stupid that shit sounds. So I have to be honest with myself. You know what I'm saying? And being honest with myself, realize that it might have took me 1 or 2 tries to get it. And I'm not gonna offer them the same damn leniency. Who does that?
I Get it.
You know, you give a person the opportunity, man, to figure that shit out. Like we said, the maturation process. You give them the opportunity to figure that shit out. And then you say, then the ego kicks in. Hey, welcome aboard. I'm glad you worked it out.
So, welcome aboard.
You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you worked it out for yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But preaching to them and saying, hey, I'm gonna sell you from yourself. That's what type of ego is that? You feel what I'm saying? That's crazy. You can't stand that ground because some way or another they're gonna find out. Damn, man, you did the same shit I did, and you preaching? No, self discovery, man. You got them in their direction. Well, okay, you did that. Now, what do you think you need to do? And let them figure it out. Hell, you might learn something from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think.
But just being cognizant of the fact that I'm not infallible, man, and I am sometimes prone to making dumb decisions and mistakes. Judge me how I respond. Judge me how I overcome, not simply the mistake I made.
No doubt. I want to, once I address it, I want us to, we're gonna take this out with Malika's comment.
That's a great.
Yeah. My greatest strength is a hybrid. It is my empathy and discernment. You know, empathy and discernment are in the same class, right? And being present and taking responsibility for what I see. And this is everything. This encompasses everything in my life, not just when I'm dealing with people. Just my greatest strength is understanding, discernment, and empathy, being present. And this has been the hardest thing for me to do. Take responsibility for my role. You know what I mean? You see, guys, if you recognize the three of us, we're handsome human beings, but nobody's talked about being handsome. Three of us is 6'8", 6'6", 6'9". Nobody talked about that either. Greatest strength. You know what I'm saying? Nobody talked about the superficial, because that's where your maturity is right now. So, Malika says, would you trade your strength for the silver spoon if you kept the same flaws that you currently have? You couldn't. If you had the silver spoon, this is my answer to you, Lee. If you had the silver spoon, you wouldn't have the flaws that you have. Because the silver spoon will put you. Now I understand if you bring them on, then you act accordingly. But if you had the silver spoon, it'll get in the way of your thinking right now. That's my opinion, and I'm not disagreeing with you, Malika. I'm just saying I think that would be hard. Anybody else?
Well, I imagine, man, that I got the silver spoon by inheritance or some form of fashion it was given to me, man. But what I said earlier was developed through pain and letdown, man. So would I give it up? My air quotes trauma, man, is responsible for for the majority of my positive traits, man. Whether it be
Good point.
cooperation through cowardice, man, or just not really goddamn having the enemy to put up the good fight. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And it, it, it I came to that realization, man. A handful of years ago, man. That I'm just the little kid, man. Who felt like they never had enough of anything. And it carried over, and into my adulthood. You know what I mean? And it shaped this person. I'm a giving person because I ain't never had nothing. I feel like I ain't never had nothing. You know what I mean? I'm tough because I was always scared. That kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, if I had a silver spoon, man, shit, my failures would be a lot more goddamn astronomical than they were. It's a good thing that my resources was limited when I was a kid, because I would have found a way to fuck it off bad, you know. But in the meantime, I just fucked it off, medium.
Gotcha.
So you
And I
fucked
was
it
able
up
to
because you didn't earn it?
I fucked it off because I didn't know what to do with it.
I think that not having the silver spoon is what gave me my gigantic sense of guilt. That's kind of why I wasn't. I understand what you was asking, Malika, but I was kind of like messed up with it because I know that not having a silver spoon is what makes me a giving person on the scale that I give. You see what I'm saying? I don't know I would be this person if I had a silver spoon. But that means I don't trust myself enough more than anything. But go ahead, Damon.
My simple question is, hell no, I wouldn't give up who I am for or the lessons that need to be learned in my life for because I have a silver spoon. Because for the rest of your life, the idea is that you didn't build shit.
Terrence, what's up, baby boy? Love you.
You just lived off of somebody else's sweat and tears and turmoil. You know what I'm
So,
saying?
do you think that we've been conditioned to feel guilty because we get a leg up, dog?
The question was, will you give up?
No, I'm just saying. I was just commenting on what you just said.
I think, man, that there are a lot of people who are in positions where they have silver spoons and leg ups and all that stuff, but they still want to build their own, write their own path.
Uh-huh.
They want to write their own path, man. And that is you on an individual level. You know what I'm saying? You inherit $600 million, man, from your parents, and you just a playboy and you just living life. That's all you're gonna be. You haven't built shit.
I could be Tony Stark. Fuck it. No.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm joking, man. Go ahead.
I'm about to say, I know your character. You not finna. That might be 1 or 2 years, but that shit run out. You know what I'm saying?
Look, I'm sitting up here singing the Iron Man song. But go ahead.
Tony Stark makes you feel he's the
He's the coolest cat.
No, man.
Oh, shit.
I admired both of you guys and our parents, man. You know what I'm saying? I had to lay out my own accomplishments, my own things, because that was the expectation. That's how they raised me. You know what I'm saying? And just, no, man. I can't be that guy.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I remember, man, in college, man, they used to put in the sports joint, man. Damon Armstrong, so and so, brother of Keith Armstrong. You know what I'm saying? They were selling it that way. Now here I am doing what I'm doing, and for 2 years, I was a brother of Keith Armstrong. You know what I'm saying? Was I mad because you had who you are and what they recognized? No. But I was irritated because they didn't recognize what I was doing. You feel what I'm saying? And that was just innate in me. How do I go to my brother and say, hey man, you know what? I'm having a good goddamn career because of you. What was the first thing when it came out your mouth, bro? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I remember playing at Perry School, and he was like, hey man, dude, you need to. What you gonna do? I don't want to hear that. You need to do this. And then I'm riding in college off your reputation. Come on, man. That contradicts all that hardship and me wanting to fight your ass on the damn court, don't it?
I got
How many games that me and you stopped because we almost came to blows with each other?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you had that expectation, just like our parents did. You know what I'm saying? And Jacory, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm so tired of hearing about y'all motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
All right, man. It's content.
Yeah.
That's what
That's
we
just
trying to
what we
create,
are.
man.
Yeah.
That's
So
what we
no,
trying to
man.
create.
You a man, you build your own shit, bro.
No
I mean,
doubt.
you reap it. You know, you can reap the benefits, Bronny, but you got to showcase too, man.
Yeah. All right. Last word of the night. We'll
Well,
start with you, Damon.
Oh, um,
You
I thought you was
forgot
going to
your
ask a
name, man?
question, huh?
No. Last word of
No,
the
I
night.
thought you.
Last word.
Yeah, I thought you was for the ask the question, you know. But last word of the night, man. I think that it's okay, man, to pass and fail, man. You know what I'm saying? In your life. Because in passing and failing comes wisdom, man.
Yep.
And that is your journey. That's your road. You know what I'm saying? The only thing you can do is be an example. You know what I'm saying? You might not you might touch a person's life that you have never met in your life before. You know what I'm saying? And then later on down the years, and I've been through this. Later on down the years, they give you credit for it, and you be like, "Damn, how the hell I do that?"
Mm.
It happened because you gave your best self, man.
Good point. Good point. Give our best selves, man.
You know, that is
Jaquari.
that's our purpose.
Yes, sir. Jaquari.
man, I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation once again, gentlemen. I appreciate your time, man, and I'll leave you with this. In a public bathroom with 3 stalls, with 3 urinals, apparently it is bad form for you to stand at that urinal and lift your short leg to piss. But it is also bad form to come and stand right next to a motherfucker with his 3 urinals. Use your goddamn head.
What the hell is a short leg, my guy?
When you're wearing shorts,
Oh,
and
oh, shit. Okay.
yeah.
Hey, bro, I
Hey
got
man,
you.
and I gotta tell you, man, that wouldn't have happened if the motherfucker didn't come and stand right next to me.
Oh my god, man, you talking about the
Son of a
spray?
bitch. Huh?
I never use
No.
the stand up urinals. I use the toilet, man, because the spray coming from another motherfucker and myself.
No.
Damn. Thank you for one more thing I got to worry about there.
But that's what I got from you.
All right.
You know
But
what I'm
look, hey, great conversation. Malika, Terrence, Lawrence. Who else? Terrence, Lawrence, Malika. This is all family, man. Love y'all. Love y'all to death. You hear
Love
me?
y'all.
You know what I mean?
My people.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely. Love
You
y'all.
know, Lawrence and Terrence, our cousins, our first cousins, but we grew up together. They are little brothers, man. Love them dearly. Love your other siblings, but you know, we got this special thing. You know what I mean? Um, we here every Friday. You understand what I'm saying? Love you, Malika. We here every single Friday at 7:30. Me and my brothers have made that commitment to you guys. And as I said, it's about conversations, about communication, it's about opening up. This is what we do. We know we got a tribe out there, and our tribe is secretly watching us, right?
And that is true.
They're secretly watching us, and that's cool. Don't have a problem because we're gonna keep showing up. We ain't gonna get discouraged. But look here, go to our YouTube channel and subscribe so we can build our tribe. Strong Perspective Podcast, that tribe.
We got a tribe in Albion too. People walk up to me. I'm gonna be watching y'all stuff. Then why?
You know what I'm saying? So,
And why don't you contribute?
see, like I said, it's here because we're doing this. We're doing it from a good place because I enjoy doing this thing with my brothers, and then when I bring friends and other families on, shit, that is frosting. You hear me? That is frosting. But understand that we do have a tribe out here, young and old. Just don't drink the Kool-Aid thinking that, oh, y'all be on too long. All right. Watch it a quarter way through, halfway through, and then come back. Because guess what? It's on YouTube. Finish watching. Because guess what? I said this last week, the last 2 weeks. We every 5 to 8 minutes, something viral is said on this podcast. You are invited to take those viral moments, especially if you got a big platform. Just give us credit. Tell the people where you got it from and put it on your page. Because we're going to always do some good. And eventually we're going to reap the benefits. So go to Strong Perspective Podcast, like, share, and subscribe, especially subscribe. Like our shit too. But especially subscribe. So we can quote unquote be put in that algorithm. I don't believe that shit no more. But what I'm saying to you is, we here. Strong perspective. Everybody has a strong perspective. We'll see y'all next Friday.
Hey, bro, it's okay to say, what about me? What about mine? What about my needs? What about one?
Give me mine.
I need.
This is Strong Perspective Podcast. We'll see you next week. Peace out.
Peace.